Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna analyze this week's challenge arena, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So this challenge arena is green themed, I guess, for some reason. And it is not the best kind of characters nor builds for this kind of a stage, but it's doable, as you can see. So let me explain. First of all, the stage. On this stage, you will be fighting about 5 waves, I think, or maybe a bit more, of enemies. These enemies are the machine dogs that come with a gun on top of them, the bees, and the blobs, skull blobs, I guess. I don't know how to call them. So all of these enemies act in different ways. Some get near you, some are kind of slow, some are fast, so it is difficult to devise a right way to control all of them. Fortunately, there's a couple skills that we can take advantage of, or passives that we can take advantage of to make this stage easy. So, first of all, Kurenai. Kurenai is going to abuse Stormfang in order to gather the enemies. You want to launch this preferably to the skull blobs, because they are not going to get pulled to that spot, to the tornado, but the other enemies will, and that way you can just use Howling Wind and Kamitachi. And when you try to use Kamitachi in between Howling Wind, you'll be able to use God's Eye, since you're gonna be next to the enemies and they'll be trying to attack you. So yeah, that's basically the way you want to deal with this. Also, you want to abuse, as usual, the active and the ultimate. In the case of Kurenai, we have a buffing skill with Hazuma Reiko over here, which is going to increase our critical performance, our critical rate. And we have a damage increase, melee damage increase, and critical damage increase over here for range and melee, respectively. And we have Torajiro over here to give us a flat damage increase. For the weapon, we have Twin Sword IR and UV, which honestly is not the best kind of weapon for this kind of a stage. It's the most broken one when the enemy has a lot of super armor, but these don't have that much super armor. Even so, by being smart about the tornado and Howling Wind, you can use your basics to stack some wind scars onto the enemy so that you can summon the tornadoes. Then we have Asagi. Asagi is interesting because she's not great at dealing with these waves of enemies, but she has the basic enhancer, and that means she can quickly use the ultimate, which is good. Not only that, we have Apostle Shiranoid, which is not a great damage increase, but has the ability to reduce the cooldown of one of your remaining skills, which, okay, it's usable, I guess. It's usable. So, what skills do we have over here? First of all, we want to abuse the leader skill and use Kojinka. That's the first thing that you have to take into consideration. Once you do that, you use Shunshinka, but you have to position properly. Then you use Soeka, and then you use the basics. Renjinka is not easy to use on this stage. As I mentioned, enemy behavior complicates things a little bit. But if you want to use Renjinka, I recommend you use them on the blobs, since all of them are going to be gathered together, and if you position yourself properly, you're going to be able to hit multiple of them. Then, for the weapon, we have the Cherry Blossom weapon, which most people won't know how to use, but you just want to use the active Well, technically, you would want to use the active to deal with the enemies, but I think the ulti is more valuable. If you want to do so, that's another viable strategy because we have the particle increase thanks to the basic enhancer. And don't forget to use Soeka. Um, my recommendation is that you use Soeka against the dogs or the bees. You use Soeka after Sunshinka, and then you start using the basics. Or you can do it the other way around. You start with Soeka, then you use Sunshinka, and then you use the basics. Then we have Lapis. They're still trying to sell us this set, which is not good. Honestly, it's not good at all. But okay, they're trying. So green Lapis. The main characteristic of green Lapis is that she's going to be able to attack with the gem support. We also have piercing dash and Stormbreaker. Stormbreaker, it looks like a line, but it's actually going to be like a square, kinda with green. So keep that in mind. And we also have Gem Spear Shower. For the weapon and the supporters, honestly, it's nothing that impressive. Skill damage increase with particle regeneration, particle increase, and weapon active damage increase. And yeah, the convoluted Lapis supporter along with the convoluted Lapis weapon. That has one redeemable quality in the fact that you instantly fire all gem spears summoned by gem spear shower. Which means that you're going to use all your shots immediately to nuke a couple enemies. So, what should you do with this one? This one was the difficult one. I mean, these two were particularly difficult for me, but I managed. So, what do you want to do with Lapis? You want to use Gem Shower almost immediately against the biggest group of enemy, preferably the blobs, the skull blobs, because the skull blobs won't move and won't evade this one. You want to use Stonebreaker and Piercing Dash against the wolves and the bees. And then, just by evading, you will be able to deal damage by summoning gem support. And then, you want to use the ultimate. Since you also have more particle regeneration, whenever you stun the enemies, be sure to do basic attacks so that you charge and you can use the ulti twice per run. Let's try it right now. Let's do a run with Lapis. Let's see if I manage. And okay, not bad. Just like that, perfect. And there we go, nice. And a couple basics, come on, like that, excellent. The blobs go down, just like this, excellent. Gem support, basics, nice. A little bit more damage. Remember that most of your damage is gonna come from skills. So that's something to take into consideration. Oops, got. Okay. Can I just... There, perfect. Excellent, nice. And I have the ulti, so I'll do the ulti. Nice, perfect. Okay, good. Excellent. I'll use the active. I don't like to use the active because this active is kind of unusable for the most part. Let's see. This one, and done. That should be it. Yes. Did I manage? No, I didn't. I was a bit shy. Why do I say this one is particularly bad? Because this one depends on stacks, and since these are mobs rather than a boss, you're not going to inflict a lot of stacks onto the enemy before they die. That's why this set is not that great. against waves of enemies. I mean, the advantage is using the weapon and nuking a bunch of enemies instead of waiting for all the strikes to hit individually. But anyways, that's about it, guys. It is a rough week on Challenge Arena, but I know you can do it. So keep trying until you get all your rewards. And also remember that these are going to be on missions. There you have to clear a set amount of these in able to clear some of the Golden Pass points in order to finish your Golden Pass. So, well, anyways, that's about it for today. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!